Hey everyone, Steven here, and I teach those who manage their own portfolios, again, whether they're beginner or experienced, good or bad, I teach them how to generate a very reliable six-figure salary, really trading less than 2 hours a day. Now, I do have a mastermind in Inner Circle that is $25,000 a year. The average member of that program makes several $1,000s a week. And I do host a very private live coaching session with the members of that group every single week. The group's fantastic. The results are just out of control. And about 2 weeks ago, I did a session with that group where I kind of introduced the idea of, as a trader, people want results. I get it. But what actions that if you took every single day, if you actually did those things every single day, would make the outcome that you're looking for impossible not to happen? So there's a recording that I'm going to show you here that's about 32 minutes that if you are truly serious about getting better results in a pretty short amount of time when it comes to trading or investing, I would watch it. And then I would probably watch it at least 2 to 3 times because I've been coaching now since 2018 and I have not done a coaching session as good as the one that I'm about to share with you. So I hope this is helpful. I hope it serves you. And yeah, enjoy the video. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I was sick last week. It was a fucked up week, quite frankly. But I'm good now, getting back on the weekly trainings here. I have a topic that I didn't actually disclose ahead of time, but I am very, 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 very excited to be able to show this and speak to you about this topic. And we're going to obviously circle in and pull this back to trading. But we'll get there. And the idea is this, right? So everyone in life wants results. Everyone in life wants an outcome, right? If you own a business, you want to make $1 million a year. You want to make $100,000 a year trading. You want to make 50 grand a month trading. You want to make $100 million, like whatever it is. So you want to go ahead and do. People get very focused on the result, on the outcome, and they get very frustrated when they don't get that result or when they don't get that outcome, which, by the way, I'm there too. And there's a guy who I follow in like the business space who is like, makes me look like a little schoolgirl in terms of his business aptitude. I think I'm good at business, but I can't even shine this guy's shoes. And I was watching a podcast with him the other day where somebody was like, hey, I'm trying to make an extra 10 grand a month. I want to quit my job. I want to be my own boss. I want kind of freedom in my life, and it's not happening, and I'm getting very frustrated. What can I do? And the guy was basically like, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the wrong thing. And then he goes to the person, how would it be impossible for you to fail? I'll make this a little bit bigger. How would it be impossible for you to fail? Right. And again, I'll talk about the business stuff first because it's going to be a really good kind of analogy for you. But like this person wanted to make 10 grand a month in business. I forget which type of business that they had, but I don't think it was like shit. It was probably pretty good. And the guy was like, you know what? How would it be impossible for you to fail? What would a day look like for you where if you did that day every single day, or you took those actions every single day, that just sheerly by doing them every single day, it would be impossible for you to fail? Right. So like this person didn't have a lot of money to spend on ads,
whatever it is. And it came down to, if I shot 4 hours of content every day, and if I emailed people in my niche for 2 hours a day asking to do joint ventures, it would be impossible for this person to fail. So this person wants to make $10,000 a month in their business. They want to be able to quit their job. They want to be able to provide more for their family. They want to be able to live kind of the laptop lifestyle, to be their own boss, not have to listen to anyone, not make somebody else rich, get rich themselves, all that stuff. And because they were so focused on getting that result and so focused on the fact that they were not getting that result, right? So they wanted that result. They were thinking about result. I'm working, but I'm not actually achieving $10,000 a month yet. I'm pissed off. I'm thinking about quitting. I'm thinking about trying something else, blah, blah, blah. I think everyone gets the deal. And then this guy who's like how you guys think of me when it comes to trading, that's how I think about this guy when it comes to business. He's like, well, let's look at it this way. What would it look like? What actions do you have to take every day where if you did those actions every day, it would literally be impossible for you to fail? And now she didn't necessarily, it was a young lady, this business person, and she didn't necessarily, know all the answers like this. So this person helped her, but it came down to, if she shot 4 hours of content a day and emailed people in her niche, this is in the health, weight loss, fitness niche, 2 hours a day asking for joint ventures, it would literally, if she did this 5 days a week, not even 7 days a week, if this person did this 5 days a week, it would be impossible for them to fail. They would have reached that $10,000 goal. So this person went back for 2 months, focused on the actions, created a scorecard of their day. And they asked themselves 2 questions on a day. The first question was, did I shoot content for 4 hours today? Yes or no? The second question was, did I email people in my niche for 2 hours a day asking for joint ventures? Now, the first week went okay. But after the first week, the person did it every single day for a month. And guess what ended up happening after a month? They got the $10,000 in revenue in that month. For a year before that, they never got over $4,000 in a single month in revenue. But then when they focused on what actions should I take, could I take, so that it would be impossible for me to not reach my goal, it would be impossible for me to fail. And then every single day, they made sure they took those actions that when taken enough, it would be impossible for them to fail. They all of a sudden, they couldn't do it in 8 months. And then in 4 weeks, they accomplished their goal. Now, life is busy. Life's busy. There's a lot of stuff going on in life. You got family, you got friends, you got politics, you got weather, you got a job maybe. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on in life. But do you know what actions you could take every day trading where it would be impossible, it would be not possible for you to fail? Yes or no in the chat box, because we're going to go through a couple of these right now. Yes or no in the chat box. Do you know what actions that if you took every day, every week, whatever it is, it would not be possible for you to fail? It would be impossible for you to reach your goals. Somebody other than Brandon. James. Ooh, I love it. James, take the microphone. James, can you unmute yourself so you and I can
Are you
chat here
sure you
live?
want me to have the microphone?
Well, you're the only one that said yes.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, I probably answered the wrong way. I'm trying to eat some chips and listen at the same time, and the crunch in my head just gets
well,
it
hold
going.
on. I asked, do you know the actions that you could take every day to make it impossible to fail? You said yes. Do you still believe that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been doing great.
So, what are the actions that if you did them every day, it would be impossible for you to fail? Just tell me.
Well, you have to follow the rules. You
Of
have to
what?
stay calm. The rules of the program. You have to keep your emotions out of it.
Okay.
And since I'm retired, I have very little to do between I'm on the Pacific Coast, so 6:30 a.m. until 1 o'clock. I could sit here and watch it all day if I want to, which
Okay.
doesn't happen. But there's times things get going in the wrong direction. Just wait and see what happens. But the one of the best rules is this is Pacific time, which would be 10 a.m., which would be at 1 p.m. East Coast. Definitely don't trade after that.
Can you see my screen, my friend?
Oh, I see it.
Okay. So I have three things written down here. We're gonna flush this out a little bit, right? So you came on board what, 2 weeks ago?
5th of Jan.
How you doing so far?
Oh, you asked. I have my numbers. In the 2 weeks since I've joined, including today, I'm up $4,710. This week,
Everyone,
I'm
round of
up.
applause for James.
Today, I am up 1,265, and in the last webinar, you thought 600. There's some that I didn't post because I miss them. But 1,265 for today. For the week, which started Tuesday this week, 2,340.
Okay.
So I'm looking for a 3K week after
Okay.
tomorrow.
So, well, congratulations on your success. Hopefully, many, many more to come. And it's nice to see that you're firing out of the gate. So, here's my question for everyone. And James, feel free to stick on. You can stay on the microphone, but I'm going to kind of ask some people in the chat box now. But then I might ask you some stuff. So stick on here if you wouldn't mind. But okay. So what James says is, it would be impossible for him to fail if he followed the rules, kept his emotion out, and stopped trading after 1 o'clock Eastern, right? So if these are the three things that he believes, it would be literally impossible for him to fail if he did these things every day. Well, the next question is, how does James get in the position where he cannot do these things incorrectly, right? So here we go.
Well, Stephen,
go ahead, hit me.
I have a little tweak to that. Don't trade after 1 p.m. Eastern. I don't open any trades. I hold other trades and close them after 10 a.m. my time.
Perfect.
But I do not open new trades.
Perfect. So if this is what he believes, and again, he's having great results. It's fantastic. But if he believes if he did these three things, it would literally be impossible for him to fail. Here's what you can do. Number one, every morning before he trades, he can review the rules of the program. Every morning before he trades, he can write down on a piece of paper how many contracts should be traded to where he does keep his emotions out. And then every morning before he trades, he can write down on a piece of paper that he is done opening new trades after 1 p.m. Eastern, right? So what this means is every morning before he actually enters the dome, if you will, right, begins to trade, whatever you want to call it, he is setting the intention to follow the rules of the program. He is setting the intention of keeping the emotions out. And he's setting the intention to not open any new trades after 1 o'clock. Remember, setting the intention gives you an 83% chance, I believe, of actually doing the thing you want to do. So every day, if he wakes up and he sets the intention, he has a very high chance of taking the actions that, if done enough with consistency, give him the result he wants. And then at the end of the day, regardless of result, he should grade himself on a report card, spreadsheet, literally whatever, on did he follow those 3 things or not. Because, James, if you do these 3 things every single day for the rest of the year, what do you think is going to happen?
I'll be on the plus side big time. Going over your every morning before he trades, I have to take a medication at 6 a.m. every morning. So I'm up about 5:30, 6 a.m. Now this is all Pacific time. So it's prior to the market. So I mentally review
Perfect.
what the rules of the game are. And every morning before he trades, I don't have to write it down on a piece of paper. I print out your email, and we'll say it's the one for the SPX. And I will circle the support level, say 1 or 2 if it's the lowest, or the highest number. So today it was 3. And I circle the resistance, and I'll put a put to the side of the support, and I'll put a right call to the side of the resistance. So that gives me an idea of what to look for. And I also follow other members in the room, as they well know by now. And every morning before I trade, I have this piece of paper printed out of your email, and on the back side it's blank. And whenever I place a trade, I'll put a C for the call, call credit spread. And then on the other side of the paper, a P for the puts credit spread. And I'll write down the strikes, how much I got into it at, times the number of contracts. And then when I get out, I note on there, like today it was 47.85, 48.15 on calls. I got in at 95, but I bought 2. And when I started, I was only buying 1. But my account option buying power is increasing, and my margin is going down, my margin debt. And I got out at 40 cents. Well, that's just written on my paper. While there's a lot of time in the day, I'll switch over to my spreadsheet and enter the entry and the exit price for all these. So I've got it all scribbled on a piece of paper, and then I can transfer it either from the website, the trading website, to my spreadsheet, or go to my paper. So
that's incredible. That's incredible. And folks, like he's setting the intention, and he is making sure that he's following the rules. And if he doesn't follow the rules, he's going to know that. And he's going to ask himself, why didn't I follow the rule, and make the adjustment, right? If he doesn't, if emotions are involved, he knows that. And then he's going to say, hey, what happened, and how can I make sure that emotions get out, which is probably just cut down on the trade size. And then if he is opening a new trade, he knows, because he logs everything after 1 o'clock Eastern or 10 o'clock his time, he notes that and makes an adjustment. So your adjustments when it comes to trading are less about the actual trades that you placed and more about, did the actions that I know I was supposed to take happen? If they didn't happen, why not? And let me make the adjustment so that the actions that I know I should take start happening again. right? This is definitely a mental shift, and probably for some of you, kind of the first time you're hearing this. But ask yourself this, like, and you may not have kind of these three things like James has. And again, congratulations to James. And it's so cool to hear that he's really doing these things and has been doing these things. But like, if you don't know, for example, what are the actions that if you took, every day, if you trade every day, or every week, if you trade every week, that if you really did them, it would be impossible to fail. I'd reach out to the group. I think this would be really cool for people to kind of give their own ideas of what those actions are. Because again, like, if he falls off of this, it's how can he go back onto these things? Not how can he learn a brand new trade that all of a sudden is going to solve his problems, right? If he falls off of this and emotions are involved, it's okay, fine. I didn't take the action I wanted to take. Emotions got involved. How can I make an adjustment so that the emotions are gone? Not how can I learn some brand new trade that's gonna make all that money back? It's no. How can I make an adjustment so that I can make sure that the emotions are out? Right? The people who will do the best are the ones who will be able to do the actions with the consistency where the net result of those consistent actions are that they generate a lot of money, right? We have a lot of people in this program who do really, really well. Those are the people who I see them doing the same stuff every single week, right? So again, this is a mental shift for a lot of people. And this may be the first time you're hearing something like this. So I get it if you're like, what the fuck are we even talking about here, dude? But the reality is this. If he follows the rules every day and he keeps his emotions out and he doesn't place any new trades after 1 o'clock, it's going to be very, very difficult, if not impossible, for him not to be super successful, let alone fail. And clearly, before the market opens, he is setting the intention to take these actions. And after the market closes, he's reviewing his day, not on his P&L, but on did he take those actions that he knows that if he took those actions consistently and long enough, it would be impossible for him to fail. So this is a little bit of a shift for some of you. And again, you may not actually know what yours are, in which case I would recommend reaching out to people in the Telegram channel, just kind of asking questions. But this is how you make trading easy. This is how you make trading very winnable for you consistently. Maybe not every day, maybe not every week, but every month, every quarter, every year. This is how you do it. So if you have, just think about, you all are very smart people. And again, if you don't know, maybe just reach out to the group. But if you do know, hey, if I literally did these 3 things, 4 things, 5 things, 2 things, 1 thing, it'd be impossible to fail. You have to now live and die based on if you're following that or not live and die off of the bottom line. That's the toughest part, is not living and dying, not getting high, not getting low based on the bottom line, because we're all here to make money. But the truth is this, the more we focus on the outcome, the less we focus on the actions that if we did them enough would give us the outcome that we're looking for. All right, so think about the 1% trade, for example, right? Think about the 1% trade. Since we implemented a stop loss, we get stopped out, I don't know, once every 4 weeks, once every 6 weeks. The trade still makes gobbles of money. Gobbles of money. If I got stopped out 1 week and then I was like, hey, I got to try something else, I'm missing the point. But if I got stopped out 1 week and I said, well, you know what? I still follow the rules of the program and I know that doing it enough, I'm going to make tons of money. So I'm just going to keep on at it. That is where I want everyone to start living. That is the world. That is the realm that I want everyone to start living in. Because again, these things work. They work super well. Again, congratulations to James for getting those results super quick. But he is a very good example of somebody who sets an intention each day to take the actions that, when done enough, will give him the result he's looking for. He also is somebody who grades himself on that and rigorously tracks it. So I bet you, if we didn't hear from James for a month and he's still trading on his own, and we went to him and said, hey, James, how many days did you do the 3 things that you know that if done enough would be successful? And he says, I did it every day. I guarantee you he'd make a ton of money. And at the same time, if we didn't hear from James for a month, he's just, eating chips in California. And he's like, only like half the time I followed what I wanted to, he might not do so well. Is everyone kind of getting this now? Does everyone kind of understand this? Again, I've repeated myself a couple times because this is something that's going to be a little bit new for some of you. But like, I've been teaching trading now. This is my 7th year. I have a big enough sample size in my mind in terms of customers and customer success and customer results to really kind of put my stake in the ground and say if something really works or something doesn't work. Like, if you want to know the big one, this is it. There are some tactics that I believe are better than others. There are some strategies, some methods of trading that I do believe are better than others, no doubt. But with that being said, like, the secret to the consistent, reliable, and predictable results that you want is what you see on the screen right now. That's the secret. Now, you take that and you combine it with really good strategies and really good systems. Now look out. Again, I don't know if he's going to make, look, he's up about $5,000 in his first 2 weeks. I don't know if that's going to continue forever. Some weeks it's going to be more. Some weeks it's going to be less. But I know for sure, if that dude literally does these 3 things every day, he's going to make way more money in the market this year than he probably could have ever imagined. Does everyone agree with me on that right there? That statement that I just said, that stake I put in the ground, does everyone agree with me on that? So then, this is good. Your job then, and again, if you don't know the answer, ask the group. This is the country club, right? The country club is not who's in there, it's who's not, right? Everyone in here is super smart, is super successful. So if you don't know what those actions are, it may make sense to bump up finding out and figuring out what those actions are before you try to reinvent the wheel. And again, like, I think everyone knows that at the end of 2022, I was very jaded by the whole business. The bullshit that went on with my former partners. I think everyone's aware of that, especially you were at the live event. I kind of had a heart-to-heart with everyone. And, I've been so reinvigorated over the past year with this group, really. This group is responsible for me maintaining everything that I do in the trading business and the amazing things that we're going to be doing for everyone this year too. It's because you all have motivated me to really go to another level. And I've been doing this long enough where I know what is important to understand, what is important to digest, what is important to understand, and I know what's not. And I could tell you for certain that this is the one. This is the big one when it comes to trading. So I think that some of you may want to spend some time. Thank you. I think some of you may want to spend some time thinking through this a little bit. And if you want to rely on the group, that's what it's here for. But like, This is how you lose money on a day and are still confident. This is how you don't make your goal for a week and are still confident. This is how you are able to focus on the actions that will get you the outcome and result that you desire. This is how you do it. So again, James, 3 for him. For you, it might be 10, 2, I don't know. But he sets the intention every day to follow the plan, follow the system. And he grades himself on doing that or not. And if he doesn't make money, or he makes money, he will always make an adjustment on getting himself back to be able to be in a place where he can take those actions, right? So if he doesn't follow the rules on a day, why didn't I follow the rules? Not why did I lose money or make money? If he doesn't, if emotions are involved, why were emotions involved? Let me make an adjustment to remove emotions. Not, oh, I got to learn something new because I didn't make money or whatever. That's it. Any questions on this? Like, I'm telling you, I've seen all this shit when it comes to trading. I've seen unusual options activity. I've seen insider. I've seen everything. I've seen everything. This should be non-negotiable for all of you. You know, I don't know how you live your lives. That's up to you. It's personal. But this should be non-negotiable for you every single day. Any questions? Like, again, this is the one. This is the big one. This is it. And if you can understand this and actually do it, you could take any of our systems, quite frankly, and crush it. Nice. Look, again, like, it may start out being a little bit of a pain in the ass because you don't do it every day, kind of like BC's talking about. You haven't done it every day. So it might be a little bit of a pain in the ass because you're like, ah, fuck, I got to do this for 20 minutes. But eventually you'll be able to whittle it down. Like, people who I've worked with over the years who are unsuccessful are not dumb people. They're not unintelligent. They're not incapable. And they're not bad investors and traders. They're not. They just don't have the ability to follow whatever system it is. They just don't have the ability to do it. You hear about that couple trades that were blowups. That the rule? Did you follow the rules? So again, like, this is the one. This is the big one. This is the big kahuna. And when you get this and you start taking it to heart, stuff's really going to change for you. Right? So in my business, for example, like, I have goals, big goals. But ever since I started focusing on the actions that if I did them enough, good shit started happening really fast. Really fast, like within like 2 or 3 days, really freaking fast. And I expect the same to happen for you here. Any other questions? Anything I can do to help? Awesome, man. Like, dude, we got great stuff. We got 1 DTE, we got 0 DTE. VJ's crushing it with 007. We got 80/20. We have the salary system. We got a bunch of shit. And then at the, I guess next week, we'll talk about the plans for 2024 because we're removing some of the stuff that nobody cared about and we're adding a bunch of stuff, especially when it comes to automation. But like, the stuff works. Have you followed? Have you done the things that if you did them every day, you would get the outcome that you desire? If not, hey, you have every opportunity in the world to do that now. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. If you learned something new on this session, go ahead and give me an 11 in the chat box, please. Like in 2023, so next week we're going to do a session because we're going to talk about the 2024 plans. But you guys are going to shit yourself when you see some of the results that we got last year. Those type of results are attainable for 100% of you. 100% of you. Those results are attainable for 100% of you. And I will tell you, it is of my opinion that for those who are not getting those results, it's this. Like you did 0 DTE for 2 days. You used way too many contracts. You got slapped around. And you're like, well, I lost money. But what you didn't do was say, hey, did I even follow the rules? Hey, did I keep emotion out? Right? You don't even go to that point. You're just kind of on to the next. So thank you everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed this and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night.